Hey guys, this is Lisa Tedder, also known as Tedder Bear Stamping, and today we're going to be using this Trees for Sale stamp set from Stampin' Up, and we're going to make a Christmas card because it's that time of year. Alright, so let's get started. We're going to start with Shaded Spruce. And all the measurements are on a PDF, and all the instructions step by step are on a PDF. If you would like this PDF, all you need to do is click on the link inside the description to sign up for my newsletter, and you will receive not only this PDF, but the PDFs in the future. So pretty good deal there. All right, so let's get started on the stamping part. I have two basic whites, and I have two early espressos. One's for the inside and one's for the front. So let's start with the front. What we're going to do is we're going to stamp the trees first, and I picked for the trees the two smaller, and you want, and yes they are dirty, but that's because we're using them. The solid one is going to be first, and you're going to stamp it off, and then this one is going to be second, and you're going to put it over top of the trees. So since we're using Shaded Spruce as our base, we're going to use Shaded Spruce for our ink for the trees. Love that everything coordinates with Stampin' Up. All right, so we're going to stamp off because we do not want the trees to, you wouldn't be able to see the core when I put it on. All right, so we're just going to go ahead, and I am just stamping off and then doing it like this, leaving space between the trees. And I'm going to put one more here because I have a little bit of one that's, I kind of got a little bit right there. There's always a fix. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and stamp the inside of the trees, which gives it the detail. Isn't that pretty? Now I will say one time, and nobody knows until I pointed it out, which is the moral of the story. Do not point it out when you make a mistake. But I did this upside down, and they didn't say anything, and they thought, oh, that's so pretty, and then I had to point it out because it bugged me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close that, remove this. All right, so then we're going to stamp our dog, and he is really cute. I love dogs, I love cats, I love all animals. So we're going to stamp him in crumb cake, but I am going to add some parts to him so he doesn't just look like a brown dog. So just remember when you do this how you did it, so that we stamp him again in the inside, and we want to make sure that he looks the same. All right, so I want it to be around his eye and on his paw, and then we're going to give him a little bit of a saddle. And then huff on it, and we're going to put him, let's see, right here. Isn't he cute? All right, then while we still have the crumb cake out, we are going to bring in his paw prints and make him like show that he's been running all over this tree farm. And then we're going to have it come back this way. And then of course we're going to add it right there. Okay. We can go ahead and close this now. I'm going to bring in the early espresso, and we're going to stamp the Christmas greetings. Now I know this isn't a Christmas color, but it works because we have the Christmas, the green around the edges. All right, so now we're going to come in with the puff paint, and we got to be careful because for some reason it really likes to come out fast. And so I'm going to try, oh, see, fast. Only at the beginning. Isn't that weird? And you're just going to do a little bit on the first go round because we're going to probably have to go back over it because it's going to pick up some of the green and I don't want that. So we're just going to try to see what we can do here. All right, so now we're going to heat set this until it bubbles and becomes firm. Now I'm going to go back over the parts that kind of bled. That's why I did them really thin so that you would be able to see white. Otherwise it just looks like dirty snow. Who wants that? Well, I had it growing up. I remember that in Illinois. All right, let's try to heat it again. Okay, so it looks like the snow was coming in really fast this way. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put that onto early espresso. And because I don't want this to be squashed down, I'm going to go ahead and just put the adhesive on the early espresso, being sure not to get too close to the edges. Hopefully I can get it straight. Not really. That's not very straight, so don't do yours that way. But you get the gist. Okay, now we're going to put it on here, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now the fun part is on the inside, which I think is just too stinking cute, so I'm hoping that you will love it too. So I'm going to put this aside and bring in my other white. So we're going to go ahead and put a sentiment that says "You light up the season," and we're going to use Shaded Spruce in that. Okay. And then we are going to have the dog again, and this is why I said to make sure you remember what you did on the front. So I'm going to have him kind of jumping in the air, and you'll see why in a minute. Oops, guess what? I forgot. So you know what we could do? Instead, let's see how this looks. It's not going to look the same. How did I do it? Okay, it was this year. So this is another way you could do it if you wanted to, instead of trying to do it with the marker. So this is a blend, and I'm looking at my other dog because I don't remember. I know when I stamped it how it looked. Okay, so now we have that, and I brought in, let's see, out of here I made a mask of the dog because I'm going to go ahead and put him over just his face. The rest doesn't matter. See, I didn't line up everything. Whoop, didn't even line up his mouth. That's what I need to line up. Okay, there we go. All right, so when you get the stamp set, I went ahead and made the lights go willy wonky. I know that's a weird way of saying it, but that is what I call it. And you'll see why. Because I wanted it to look like the dog had the lights going through, you know, like his mouth. And so it doesn't matter if you have it lined up there now. I just wanted to make sure it got there. All right, so let's take this off. So now that doesn't look like it's really coming through his mouth. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Write marker. Let's make it go that way. Okay, and it looks like he's grabbing it. Then we're going to color with a red, real red marker. Or you could use blends if you'd rather. And because I want it to be sparkly, because that's what lights do, I'm going to go ahead and put Wink of Stella on top of the lights. All right. now we're going to add the footprints because he's still running around because he's a crazy puppy. Okay. Just too cute. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put that onto Early Espresso and then on the inside of the card, and we'll be done. Pretty quick card other than the puff paint. Oh, and look at what I did. Goodness gracious. Okay, so we might have to, what can you do for that? Seeing it bled. Oh well, so I'm just giving you the gist. When you go to do it, do not turn it over when your stuff is still wet and then put your card on top of it. That wasn't wise of me. So we're going to go ahead and just finish it because I'll show you my regular card and it won't have that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this inside. Everybody gets something, and normally you can totally fix it, but I don't know how to fix that to where you can't see it. All right, so there we go. Let me grab my other one that I finished to show you the inside. So that's how it looks with no mistakes. And then the front. So I hope you like this. Remember, if you subscribe to my email, you will get this PDF plus all the ones I make in the future. All right, thank you.